Welcome to the Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
And I'm Haddock.
1 billion served used to be a claim reserved for cheeseburgers, but now another project can lay claim to the phrase iPhone. A little bit more expensive than a cheeseburger.
The Pokemon Go machine you used to use as a phone has hit a ridiculous milestone in the tech industry, or in any industry for that matter, with over 1 billion iPhones officially sold.
That's 9 zeros for those who haven't had too much contact before with numbers in the billions. And the thing is, few companies are familiar with selling that many of anything either.
The list of products that have sold similarly is surprisingly short, leaving some to wonder if iPhone is the biggest and most popular product ever created.
And this is product, not ecosystem. I know a lot of people use Android, but there's a lot of different phones on Android. But regardless, big words. The announcement of Apple's smartphone domination came during a company meeting this week. Apple said via a statement about the iPhone 1's billionth sale, iPhone has become one of the most important, world-changing, and successful products in history. It's become more than a constant companion.
The statement went on to say, iPhone is truly an essential part of our daily life and enables much of what we do throughout the day.
Humble brag. Just so you can appreciate how staggering and uncommon it is to move 1 billion copies of anything, much less a tiny computer that costs $600 a pop. One marketing firm, Simco, put together a little bit of data about other enormous selling products.
This list covers a number of releases that shook up their respective industries, similarly to the iPhone, and are considered to be unique world shakers, and none of them have come anywhere close to the numbers of Apple.
Sure, we've seen auto or tech companies move hundreds of millions of units before, which is very impressive, and even billions, but it is extremely rare for a single product or brand to perform the way the iPhone has the last decade.
For instance, two huge auto industry game changers, the Volkswagen's VW Beetle and the Toyota Corolla, the most popular car model of all time.
Single-handedly thanks to my mom, I think. She's got a lot of Corollas.
But they've each moved 21.5 million and 43 million automobiles respectively. The Honda Super Cub has sold 87 million motorcycles in comparison, making it the most popular vehicle overall.
In terms of media, much cheaper than cars or phones, by the way, Michael Jackson's massive album Thriller has sold around 70 million copies in its lifetime, and well worth it because we all got to do the creepy like dance. Thriller.
Yeah.
So that's the second one we got to dance in. That 70 million makes it the biggest selling album of all time.
In the realm of books, we see something similar. The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter series were both phenomena in the literary world, and each of those only sold 150 million and 450 million respectively. Again, nowhere near the iPhone number of 1 billion.
At 350 million, the Rubik's Cube is the biggest selling toy ever made.
And at 382 million, the PlayStation brand is the best-selling video game console of all time. That's including all versions of the console over the last 20 years.
And not even software can begin to compete. The Super Mario Bros. Series has sold a total of 262 million copies across every single one of the Plumbers games.
But it's even bigger than that, because according to the data, the iPhone is not only the best-selling mobile phone, but also the best-selling music player, the best-selling camera, the best-selling video screen, and the best-selling computer of all time.
Well, yeah, if you want to count it as all those things, which I guess technically it is, but whatever.
So really it's just the best porn delivery device ever, right? Is that really what we're getting to? Okay.
Yeah, because you get to, it's like on a small private screen and then no one knows what you're doing on the train. What's even crazier about all that is that Apple managed all these numbers in just 9 years. The iPhone first released all the way back in 2007, and at the time many critics questioned whether or not smartphones would ever get the widespread adoption that Apple was shooting for. And then they took over the world, and Palm Pilot was like, what happened?
In contrast, it took McDonald's 23 years to sell their billionth burger. Fun fact, that happened in 1963 and was served live on the Art Linkletter TV show. Mysteriously, they stopped publishing how many burgers they sold all the way back in 1993, and there's a surprising amount of conspiracy theories surrounding the reason.
They went backwards. Yeah. Anyway, 9 years is not very long at all for a $600 product to hit 1 billion users total. I mean, that's the same amount of time it took Rooster Teeth to get 1 billion views on YouTube. That's
really
impressive.
So what you're saying is that we're good as Apple?
Also, they had, I mean, because we started in 2000, look. Look, all these huge numbers with lots of zeros are great for Apple. It is worth pointing out that Android's worldwide numbers are generally bigger. In fact, the billionth Android phone might have already been sold some time ago, considering they've estimated to have hit 1.4 billion total devices back in 2014.
Although, to be fair, Android devices are manufactured and sold by a host of companies as opposed to the iPhone, which is solely produced by Apple. So really, that number is more about the number of phones with Android installed on them.
Yeah, so it's more of an apple and oranges in this particular scenario.
Oh.
Hey. You like it, right? It's not funny, okay. That 1.4 billion number is pretty important to Google, though. In 2015, CEO Sundar Pichai used it as a bragging point for the total number of Android users out in the wild. Still, those numbers probably include any device that's powered by Android, which is more than just smartphones.
All these celebratory numbers come in the middle of a downward slump for Apple, who saw the decline of the iPhone sales hit for the second quarter in a row. Overall, the iPhone sales dropped to a paltry 40.4 million for the quarter, while revenue hit an abysmal 42.4 billion.
I mean, really, guys, what are you even doing?
Yeah.
Just to give that a little bit of perspective, in yesterday's story about Nintendo's bad quarter, we discussed how they had sold just 220,000 Wii U's over the last 3 months. Apple sold 40.4 million iPhones in that same time. That's just the scale at which they're operating. That's a big scale for a company.
And they're disappointed by this number. While they're not quite the king that they used to be in the smartphone space, it's still hard to deny the impact that they've had in the marketplace and in such a short amount of time.
And a decade ago, it would have been hard to imagine that a single piece of technology could change our lives in such drastic ways. It's not hard to wonder what the next revolution will be and who that's gonna come from.
Yeah, so the question is, what do we need that we don't know that we need right now? First person to figure that out gets to change the world. Get on it, everybody.
My recommendation, check sci-fi stuff and then like take what's in sci-fi and then make it that much cooler. Cause think about it,
Right.
like our smartphones are way cooler than any tech in the 80s thought we'd have.
Yeah, quick, call William Gibson. Just ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, in 10 years we'll probably be riding like smart unicycles, like Bernie, I'm calling it right now.
So, what do you guys think about these ridiculous numbers hit by the iPhone? Is it the biggest product of all time? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates from the tech industry, like this video and subscribe to The Know.
Woohoo!
We work in the millions.
The inflatable arms guy?
Wacky wavy.
Wacky wavy arms. Woo! Dance like this. It's because it's thriller.